Rocoto Rellenos is a beloved traditional Peruvian dish known for its bold flavors and beautiful presentation. The dish features rocoto peppers, a native Peruvian chili that resembles a bell pepper in shape but delivers a noticeable heat. Despite its spiciness, rocoto has a fruity and slightly tangy flavor. The rocoto peppers are hollowed out and stuffed with a flavorful filling and typically topped with whipped eggs or melted cheese. First, let's go over some of the key ingredients. Here I have some rocoto peppers, ají panca paste, and unsweetened evaporated milk. First, let's prepare the rocoto peppers. Rocoto peppers are typically hotter than jalapenos, but milder than habaneros. If fresh rocoto peppers are unavailable, manzano peppers are a good substitute. Cut off the top of each pepper. Next, use a spoon to scrape the seeds and ribs from the inside. Place the peppers into boiling water. Part of the preparation for rocotos is the process of blanching the peppers in boiling water. Rocotos are naturally very spicy, so boiling and draining them multiple times reduces their intense heat and bitterness while preserving their distinctive flavor. Drain the peppers. Replace the boiled water with fresh water. Boil the peppers again. Drain again. Repeat this process 2 to 3 times. Each blanching step lasts for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the desired spiciness level. You can also add a little sugar to the water during boiling to further mellow the spice. Note that if you're using frozen rocoto peppers, you can skip this step of blanching. Drain and cool the peppers. Reserve. Meanwhile, in a saucepan over high heat, warm some oil and add some ají panca paste. This has a mild heat, a subtle smokiness, and a rich berry-like flavor. It's a staple ingredient in Peruvian cuisine. Add some diced mushrooms and give this a stir. Sauté until the mushrooms are lightly browned. Traditionally, this dish would be filled with beef or pork, but to make rocoto relleno more plant-forward, you can substitute the meat with finely chopped mushrooms for a flavorful and satisfying alternative. Next, add some diced onions and 2 bay leaves. Next, add salt, ground black pepper, and oregano. Cook until the onions are softened. Add the toasted, finely ground peanuts, chopped parsley, chopped black olives, diced hard-boiled eggs, and raisins. Give this a stir to combine. Adjust the seasoning again with salt and pepper as needed. Fill the rocotos with this mixture. Place them into a lightly greased baking pan. In a bowl, beat 1 egg with 1 can of evaporated unsweetened milk and pour over the rocotos. Beat 2 eggs until very thick and frothy and put a tablespoon over each rocoto. Cover with the reserved tops. Bake for 15 to 20 minutes until the internal temperature is 165 degrees. Serve immediately.
And now I'll show you how to prepare rocoto rellenos in a high-volume setting. Prep your peppers in advance by cutting off the tops and using a spoon to scrape the seeds and ribs from the inside. Don't throw out the tops, as you'll need them as lids later. To tame the heat and bitterness of the peppers, we're going to blanch them in boiling water. For this, you'll need 3 large stainless steel pots of boiling water. Place the peppers, as well as their tops, into the first pot of boiling water. Each blanching step lasts for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the recipe and desired spiciness level. If desired, you can also add a little sugar to the water during boiling to further mellow the spice. If you're working with frozen Rocoto peppers, you can skip this blanching step entirely, as freezing naturally mellows the spice. Drain the peppers from pot number 1 and immediately place into pot number 2. Drain the peppers from pot number 2 and place immediately into pot number 3. Once the peppers have been blanched 3 times, it's important to shock them to stop the cooking process. Here, I've prepared an ice bath using a slotted hotel pan. Submerge the peppers fully, ensuring they cool quickly and evenly. Transfer the peppers to drain thoroughly. Set them aside while we prepare the filling. Here, I have a pre-made filling for Rocoto Rellenos. This filling can be stored for up to 2 weeks in the refrigerator if vacuum sealed, or frozen for longer-term storage. Always thaw frozen filling in the refrigerator overnight before use to maintain its texture and flavor. Transfer your filling into a piping bag for easy, precise filling. Make sure to squeeze the filling down away from the tip to remove any air pockets before cutting the tip of the piping bag. Carefully pipe the filling into each pepper. Use a spoon to gently press the filling down, ensuring the peppers are well packed but not overstuffed. This step is important to achieve a uniform bake. Next, we're going to prepare the topping. Here, I have eggs that I've whipped until they're thick and frothy. This will act as a light, creamy layer on top of the rellenos. Immediately before baking, add evaporated, unsweetened milk to the eggs, mixing gently with the spatula until you reach a consistency similar to light custard. The amount of milk you will add will depend on the size of your batch, so adjust as needed. Spoon a small amount of the egg and milk mixture over each filled pepper. This adds richness and helps bind the filling to the pepper. Cover each pepper with its reserved top. This step not only makes for a beautiful presentation, but also keeps the filling moist during baking. Bake for 15 to 20 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit until the internal temperature is 165 degrees Fahrenheit.
Rocoto Relleno can be served with a potato gratin, rice, or simply as an appetizer. Enjoy!